What's going on, family? This is episode 71 of the Pharaohs Podcast. I'm your host, Solomon, and I am joined, as always, by Mr. What's Good himself, Israel.
What's good?
What's going on, bro? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good. It's another day to be great, especially on this side of the grave. But yeah, how you feeling?
Man, I was feeling okay. You see, I got my Bears hat on today.
Oh
Man, I
man, your
was feeling
feelings
I
might
was
be hurt.
feeling okay, until last night when the Bears lost. But I mean, I didn't have them going to the Super Bowl anyway. So, they definitely, like I've been saying for a little while now, they definitely exceeded my expectations for them this year. I really thought they were just going to, be a good team. Uh, maybe 9, maybe 8, 10 wins or something like that. But I didn't expect them to actually go to the playoffs, then actually beat one of the teams in the playoff, advance to the next round. But once they got in, I did get a little hope for them.
Always need a little bit of hope.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually my key that my queen gave to me years ago in class school of wisdom when I was going through the ranks. It's one of my keys right there.
That's what's up.
Um, but anyway, how was your weekend though?
My weekend was very unprecedented, unprecedented. It didn't go the way that I wanted to, but got into a motorcycle incident, user error.
Man, what's
Uh,
going on with you and these motorcycles, man?
Yeah, it was I was riding out here reckless in the neighborhood, no helmet and no gloves, so I ended up getting stitches in my eye and got a couple of bruises, but aside from that, I'm good. Able to walk around and talk and see another day, man. It's another day to be great. Yet I live. I got a reason. It's the reason I'm here.
Thank
So,
God for that.
amen. But how was
Because
your
you
weekend?
weekend was, what did I do? Work. Um, as y'all could tell from the background, family, I'm still not back in the Pharaoh Podcast headquarters. I'm still in Chicago. It's feel like every single time I get to Chicago, I get held hostage even longer. But um, I was working a little bit Saturday and Sunday church. Brought a word yesterday.
That's what's up.
Came
Amen.
from the book of Luke to just talk about a little bit of what you preparing yourself for. Are you going to prepare yourself for the tomb, or are you going to prepare yourself for the blessing? The story of when they went to go check on Jesus after the crucifixion and found out his body wasn't there. So I just wanted to share a little bit of, like, as they say, we're in the new year, the Gregorian calendar year, which is the Roman calendar year, right? Not per se our calendar year, but if they say this is the beginning of that type of cycle, then where what you preparing for? Where you got your New Year's resolution? What we doing? So I just wanted to share that with the church yesterday.
That's
Um,
what's up.
but today, family, we have a special guest coming to join us and talk to y'all. We've been trying to make this happen. This king busy. This is one of the busiest kings we have.
Got a king for a king day. King on a
King
king
for
day.
on the King's Day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to introduce to you all the prophet David, who has been one of the Coptic leaders of our nation, who is continuously doing wonderful works and in his due diligence of teaching God's people, and leader. Um, I believe also the things that he do when it comes to investing in the people, for them just to believe in themselves and also continue to grow, I think is one of the best at it. and definitely a person who gonna get you to think for yourself. He gonna change up some things. He gonna make you,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying. He gonna teach some things that ain't as normal as everybody else. But I want everybody to put your hands together for the prophet King David.
There we go.
Hey,
How you doing, King? How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. How y'all doing today?
We doing
Good. We
very
good.
well. We've been
Honored
trying
Uh,
to
to
get.
have you here.
Yes, sir.
yeah, no. It's an honor, but I want to say, I thank you for reaching out to me and, just letting me be a part of this platform, and just hope that this period of time that we share, we can have some good dialogue, and iron can sharpen iron.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm
Absolutely.
Yeah,
all about.
yeah.
Yes, sir. I want to start off by just saying, because my audience, a lot of the people here on the YouTube space are really kind of collected from the South. So a lot of people who don't understand or might not know about the Coptic faith when it comes to Atlanta, Georgia. So would you mind introducing yourself to the people?
Okay. Um, Quincy Winters. That's the name that my parents gave me at birth. Um, Throughout my Coptic experience, I have obtained, or I was blessed with the name of David. And I received that name through one of my former leaders, Bishop Titus Lee. And it's just I'm so different now, so it's hard to really explain, the old me. Um, but just David, and I'm ready to rock and roll.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I just feel like he just being so humble on here right now. This is one of the prophets who I looked up to as I was going through the ranks of my Coptic experience, as you say, when I was a young prince. Growing up, he is one of the examples that I've had growing up in Faith Temple. But speaking of growing up, give us a little bit of history of from where you came from, of going through your, as you say, your Coptic experience. Tell us exactly, how did you get from where you were to where you are now?
um, I was born in the Coptic faith. My grandparents, my family, both on my mother and my father's side, were supportive, and they were a part of the Coptic faith. And just being a part of that lineage, I was blessed to be born in it. And I can say that at the age of 50 now, it's been a beautiful experience, been a beautiful journey, been ups, been downs. But I can say, just from my personal experience now, where I'm at is, and don't want to be redundant or repetitive, but I'm just in a different place. And even the way of life, Coptic, I'm on something different, which I believe is important for us to even be on this journey. But we'll elaborate more on that as we go through this.
I want to know, when you were growing up, did you ever think to yourself, and you could be transparent as possible. Did you ever think to yourself, because I know you're gonna be humble on here. Did you ever think to yourself, you know what, one day I might have to lead, some people?
Yes, I'll be honest. I knew that that was always in me, and the reason why I can say that is I remember being young, and this is a funny story that I've told to church before. How in the basement of my home, my mom in the home we stayed in, I used to get all of the teddy bears, all of my wrestling men. I used to grab my sister dolls and stuff, and I used to just sit them all around the basement wall, and I would be preaching to them. I remember that, I was doing that, like
Wow.
when I was about 10, 11 years old, and yeah, I knew it was something different about me. Yes.
Mm, that's funny. I
Yeah.
had I used to have my toys like around me, but I was like playing school. I wasn't playing church. I used to, but I did used to play church in the back, like in the back of the church. Back in Faith Temple
Yeah.
has all that up. That which makes me want to think about the other question was like you helping build Faith Temple, like one of the first prints. Um, young, like I say, young back in those days. Like, what do you take from those lessons of how you were able to help when it came to the Archbishop Titus and what you learned and took for your own Coptic journey and leadership?
Oh man, man, what the bishop gave me, what I learned, and how through God's divine will, He allowed me to be that young prince during the beginning of the bishop leadership. And I can say all that I learned from him, all that he taught me. Man, I'm so grateful for it today. I didn't understand it then, but today, all that he gave me has allowed me, in my Coptic journey, and even in my in leadership, being in leadership, has allowed me to really be mindful of the position that you're in. Um, Not just the bishop, but so many other leaders have I watched and I've learned so much from. And one thing that I have learned, that in the 11 years of leadership, that this is nothing to play with. Um, this is something real serious. And
Mm-hmm.
then not only that, there's a price
Yeah.
that,
Oh yeah.
whether we want to believe it or not, in
There's
leadership,
a
there's a
price.
price we pay when we misguide, we mislead, God's people.
Yeah.
So in the beginning of my leadership is like, ooh, I'm leader. You look for the, popularity, you look for the friendship, you look for the fancy robes and crowns. I can wear what I want to now and all of that. But 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 as you mature and you really, come to a place to where you let God speak to your heart and speak to your mind, you'll come to find out that we've been doing it wrong all the time.
Mm,
Mm.
that's different. Let me
Elaborate
interject
on
real,
that.
real
Yeah.
quick. When you
Go,
said
go ahead, Israel. Go ahead, Israel.
well, when you said there's a price to pay, it's crazy because I made a status on Facebook earlier. I'm gonna go to it real quick.
Okay. I wonder what status he talking about. Cause I
One
ain't
second,
seen
let me
nothing.
go to it. Bear
Uh,
with me. So I was like, sometimes the price of the piper is all you pay. But the question is what's the price? Everybody's price is different.
Yeah,
Whether it's monetary or financial,
yeah,
or it might be the time, or you got to change. Like you said, you different. You doing
yeah,
it different.
yeah.
But it's everybody got to pay a price. It's a price.
It's going. It definitely is going to cost you something. It may cost you that very thing that you love the most. It can cost you, your family. It can cost you, like you said, monetary things. It definitely comes with a price, and you're gonna feel it. But um, one of you had asked, well, what's the difference, or something to that nature.
yeah.
The
That was
difference
what I say.
is, oh, what we've been doing wrong. That's what it
Yeah.
was. What we've been doing wrong is we've been trying to um, condition and subject people to be in church every Sunday, and that's not what it's about.
Mm,
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, you could do it different. And that's the
Uh-huh.
thing. It's like when you
We
in
we
that
we have
position.
truly taught people to believe if they're not in church on Sunday, that they're not going to be blessed.
Man, he
Mm.
preaching to me.
We have conditioned and trained people to believe that if they're not in church, in their seat, the spirit, the angel, not gonna bless you and all of that. We are part of those who came and gave us this. How do I put it? Just gave us this stuff that as a
Blueprint.
way of trying to um, program us.
Uh-huh.
And I'm different because I don't want to be a part of the program no more. I don't want to teach others to be a part of the program. We truly supposed to teach people to come into church, get what they need to edify themselves, grow into whatever purpose they have been created for, and they supposed to go out into the world.
Mm,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
but
like that.
I
It's definitely different.
yeah. I mean, I believe in that too, though. I don't see it as a place where you just supposed to stop, especially if they say, well, a lot of church lingo, as they say, it's supposed to be a hospital. Do you supposed to stay at the hospital? I thought you supposed to get better.
Right. I
So
see it
yeah,
but
as
but
a way.
we can get deep on that because we know it's all about the economics of things. But what I have learned also in this journey is, and a lot of people think I'm belittling or I'm bashing them, and that's not it. I'm just trying to, as you stated, I'm one who just, I want us to think on a higher level.
yes,
So if we've been taught, and coming up in Faith Temple, and even I can say, even in my beginning journeys of my leadership, we sold chicken dinners, we put on blessings, we put on raffles, we done all these things. And truth be told, when we finished doing these things, where did all the money go to?
The
they say
preparation,
the
The
church is
the
good
church.
for
materials,
The,
yes,
the
sir.
money went to the church. The money
Mhm.
Right.
all went to the church. Your seed money, all what you done, it all went to the church. But when you needed the church help, what did the church tell you?
Mm.
Mm.
We ain't got the
So
funds. We
so
gotta
so
look at
what
this.
I so what I learned was so what I learned was the way you get people to truly help the church is by first helping them.
Uh-huh.
So if I can help you become what it is you want to be in life, then in return, you will be a blessing to the ministry. You'll be a blessing to the church. You'll be a blessing to other people's lives because you have something to offer monetarily. Not just monetarily. If I help you open up a business, now you're in the position where you can employ somebody in the church. Now you have somebody who didn't have a job, they're working now.
Yes.
Right.
So I'm just different in that, and those that are with me. I didn't say those who follow me, those that are with me, because
Mhm.
we're in this together. They know that I'm definitely about something that Priest Stephen taught and told us, and that's about being entrepreneurship. So I truly believe in just getting the people to understand that building's sitting there all week long, and here we are waiting on Sunday to come to use it. So
Mm.
all the other people in the community, the Arabs, the Chinese, the whoever that's selling stuff, they in the community all week selling their goods and their products. So why can't we use this building that we've been blessed with for you to sell your goods and your products so
Yeah.
that you can be able to be blessed? And then when you're blessed, you can bless the church, you can bless others. So that's what I'm on.
Absolutely.
I
I feel that.
agree.
King, I
Yeah.
feel that. Cause I had that thought a while ago. Cause I'm like, if we having church, having service once a week, or 4 times out the month, maybe twice if we, going on Sabbath or
Yeah.
Sunday for, class, school of wisdom. We only using 8 days out of what, 30.
Yes,
And
that's
then
right.
it's like now you breaking that. You could do a lot with the rest of them days. I'm like, so we can't do this. Like we should be able to do more
That's
or
right.
be in there more because we paying all this money.
Yeah.
Utilize it.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm with you. I'm
Definitely.
on you. I'm
Yeah,
on you.
that's where I'm at in my journey. Just truly helping people, helping our young people to understand how I would desire for them to, seek higher education, go back to school, get their degrees, find some kind of field to work in where they can get the knowledge, get the information, and bring that back to our way of life and help us to understand how the world is going to be moving in the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
And the only way to know that or to find out what's going to happen, we have to send our young people out to these schools and these universities so that they can acquire their information.
Right. We should be able to
I
be
agree.
send out and bring them back.
Exactly. Exactly.
I agree.
I think our people sometimes get confused about what's a church and what's a nation.
Go ahead.
Mm.
And a lot of us are just concerned with building a church and not building a nation.
mm.
Yeah.
Nation
So
building.
Jesus said, "Upon this rock I build my church." That's nice, Jesus. Build your church. I'm trying to build a nation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That gives me my thought of well, two questions because I had my notes here of how we was gonna do this, but because you here right now, so I was talking to Prophet Hiram. He had came and stopped by the podcast as well. And you know what? I'm gonna wait because that's gonna probably be one of my last questions. But he was talking about also the nation building as well, and he was saying that we need to start. He believed that we need to start with getting the church first before we get to maybe a hospital, maybe a shelter, maybe certain businesses to build around. What do you think about that?
I can say respectfully, Prophet Hiram, in my Coptic journey, is one of the prophets that I recently spoke about. How I'm very inspired by him. I've watched his journey and I've learned much from him. But I have to say, in my honest opinion, I disagree. Um,
Okay.
God allows everyone to see what they see. I'm just one who can say that I've been allowed to see further than the church. It's not about no church hurt or anything of that
Mm.
nature. It's about truly understanding that we as a black people, we're getting further and further behind because our communities are filled with churches. We're
Oh yeah.
filled with Jesus, but
Mm,
yet when we come outside of them doors, you don't see Jesus. So somewhere, there's a disconnect. But if we are able to find that thing that can connect people, that will help them to grow and see the importance of community, I think that's through, you know, building hospitals. I think that's through building our own schools. I think that's through, building our own grocery stores and things of that nature. I don't see it being through the church because church is about to change. Only if our people knew that.
Mm.
Church,
It's
church ain't
mm.
even
changing.
church ain't even about to exist like that no more. Only if they knew that. But that's for God to reveal to them.
So, what will
Absolutely.
be when you breaking down these or your teachings? How do you describe the difference between spirituality and religion?
Um, that's a real thin line, in my opinion. I'm not really caught up in religion. although there are many different ways of life that, I'm inspired by. And personally, I used to always talk about how Minister Louis Farrakhan, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, was
Yeah,
very instrumental in my journey. And I
yeah.
if God didn't keep me in this Coptic thing, I was Islam long, I was gone. But being spiritual allows you, in my opinion, to see further than
Hmm.
just being conformed to daily rituals.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I have sometimes a little back and forth because I used to debate heavy online, but I stopped doing that because I was wasting my energy.
Yeah,
But a lot of people was not understanding how sometimes when you look at religion is mostly just some time of a practice of like
hmm,
how uh, and it's not to down any denomination, but
exactly.
there's certain people or certain denominations where yeah, at church on Sundays you do X, Y, and Z, but then during the week, Monday through Saturday, you don't do anything. But I believe spirituality is something that you do all the time.
Yes, yes.
So, with that being said, what is your because you just said how the church was probably going to change. What is your viewpoint of the black church today?
Um, mm, wow. I just see it being a place where um, many are still yet teaching our people and preaching to our people to be dependent on somebody to come and do something for them that's not coming.
Mm, yeah.
That's just what it is. And until we come up out of this spiritual, you know, a coma that we're in, we gonna keep falling further and further behind. And that's just the truth of it.
I heard somebody say like when you wake somebody up because you said spiritual coma, and that means you're asleep. You have brain activity, but you're not really
Yeah.
aware of what's going on, right? And so
Mhm.
I heard somebody say one time like when you're waking somebody up, you know, you got to wake them up at the time they supposed to. Maybe their alarm clock wasn't supposed to go off at 7 a.m., but it went off at but somebody probably woke you up even later or earlier than you're supposed to. And you ever had to wake up and then you all groggy like, I'm not even supposed to be up right now, right? And so
Yeah, but
there's
let's be real. We're talking about us as a black people who've been in America for over 400 years, and we we behind.
yes.
That alarm clock went off long time ago.
Okay.
So if you're upset about being awakened and brought into the knowledge of some things, then hey, woe to you. But one
Right.
thing I love, as I state, about the Nation of Islam, they don't play with you. It's like either you moving with us or you get left behind, and
Mm.
at some point we have to, you know be on that kind of mindset. We can't keep dragging people along with us because they think we got more time than we really have. So, you
So you don't mind waking somebody up before they time, huh?
don't mind, don't mind,
Mm-mm.
don't
They
mind.
gotta wake up. Gotta wake
Gotta
up.
wake up. Gotta wake up. We behind. Our community speaks for itself.
Yeah, agreed. We got the Imperial Princess Joy. She's saying, "Hey, Uncle Prophet King
Hey,
David."
how you doing,
Um,
there, princess?
we have a question. This is one of my friends from school, Eric. He says, "What exactly kept you Coptic and not convert to Muslim?"
Um, it's kind of long, but then again, I'll make it short. when I had left the Coptic church, because I did leave at a period in my life, and I was experiencing going to the mosque and things of that nature. And I had a dream. And in this dream, I was on 79th and Stony Island, remember it. And I was with the brothers and we were selling our final calls and things of that nature. And something had happened where the brothers was like, hey, we need to go get the minister. And I had gave one of the brothers my paper. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and go in the other way direction. He's like, okay. He's like, well, here's your money for the work you did today. When I opened up my hand, it was three shiny dimes in there, and I'm like, three dimes. And I was heading back towards south on Stony Island, and as I was walking, I heard like the minister voice in my head say, God is gonna God, you may want to be somewhere else, but God is going to put you where He needs you. And that's what made me return back to
Hmm.
the Coptic
Mm,
faith.
mm.
But I was gone. Yeah, yeah. The Pharaohs said that. He said, you may want to be somewhere else, but
Hmm.
God is going to put you where He needs you. And that's what made me come back.
I think that's all a part of the journey, you know,
Yeah,
like making you well diverse, just anybody, because it's like not just you, just even when you go to biblical figures and stories, it's like they journey, they went away, whether it was to a different land or something of that nature, and it's like they experience, they learn, and that kind of helps shape and build them to who they are.
yes. And many times, I have something I do every year. I don't know if you're familiar with it, called the Coptic Marketplace, and I've been kind of slacking on it. I
That
ain't
was
really,
Israel's question for
I
me
ain't
today.
really, got on it like I, wanted to, and I kind of have adopted that from, how the minister they would have Founders Day, Prophet Cicero would have his day, things of that
Right.
nature, and I created this Coptic Marketplace as a way of addressing, us as a nation.
Yeah, let's
It's
go
not
into that
to
because
throw
I'm
off,
interested.
yeah, it's not to throw off on anyone or judge anyone or say I'm the big kahuna for everyone. None of that, because in growing, I'm in a place where I don't even care about, let me be careful how I put this, not that I don't care. I've come to learn that it's bigger than leadership. Why can't I just be your brother?
Mm,
Right.
Why can't you just be my sister? Why do I have to use certain titles to exalt myself above my brothers and sisters, when if they fail, I fail. So we
hmm.
all in this together.
Right.
So I never read in scripture where Jesus ever told the disciples, I'm your leader. He said, I'm your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes that's what has caused the confusion and caused, the separation in our nation, because everyone, that's my leader, that's my leader, that's my leader. Why can't
Mm,
we all just be brothers and sisters in Christ?
mm,
But the Coptic market place, as I say, I adopted that um, from that platform that they do. And I remember in in receiving this revelations to come forth with this Coptic marketplace, that it came from when Jesus had came into the temple and he began to turn over all the tables. And he said
Yeah.
that this was supposed to be a house of prayer, and we have made it a den of thieves. And if we
Mm.
be honest with ourselves, that's what church has become, a den of thieves.
Wow. And would you
We're
say it's a
robbing.
den of thieves? Oh, go ahead. Go
We're
ahead.
robbing. We're robbing the people from rising to their highest self.
mm,
We're using titles. We're using in our way of life. I know it all means something, but we're still conditioning and programming them to a low vibration. See, you're only in church. We only in church for an hour, 2 hours. Now I'm there. Know that there's some that's in there all day long. God bless you. I'm not doing that no more. I'm
Two
not being in church
services,
all day.
two and a
No.
half hours.
They call me Catholic Coptic. I'm fine with that. I'm not being in there all day because I understand that life is passing us by while we're spending all day long, you know, as they say, praising God. I can do that on Monday. I can do that on Tuesday. I can do it. I don't have to take Sunday and just make that the whole day. I know what they say about the Sabbath day. That stuff was made for man.
Oh, we you about to ruffle some
They say the
feathers.
Sabbath was made for man. The Sabbath was made for man, but it's
But then if
it's
you
supposed to be what you do
if
with
they
it.
really study, if they really study their scripture, then
Mhm.
ask them why is it that Jesus, who they're going into the temple's praising, he wasn't even in the temple like that.
Right, because he
Mm,
was,
Because
and
he
it's
said
like,
the work was outside of the temple. So
mm,
if we in here all day, when are we gonna get outside to do some work?
right,
mm.
the
And
church
doing the
supposed
work
to,
is building our communities.
yeah,
But we don't have to build our communities because most of us, if we be honest, and I'm not exempt, but I had to come into the knowledge of we leave our churches. Guess what? We going to the south suburbs. We going to our, big homes somewhere else. But we yet come to the come to the hood and have our services, but we don't cater to them in the hood. We go to our big homes. So we still
mm,
not doing a justice to our communities. We're just looking at the people that come in our church and saying, that's who I'm supposed to serve. But
right,
if Jesus was truly like that, man, he wasn't like that.
man. I feel like
Oh,
the church supposed to be the place of rejuvenation. You know,
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
absolutely.
there's a question from the Imperial Princess Joy. She says, in your opinion, what needs to be done in order to gain the interest and attention of the youth and keep it to ensure there will be another generation of cops?
That's a
I
good
knew my
question.
niece was going. I knew she was going to ask me that.
Coming with it.
She got on me last time, and I want to clarify this because I was speaking not as an ignorant person, but I was speaking from the reality of, in a lot of our Coptic churches, a lot of our elders have been the ones who financially keep the doors open. That's just truth. So in my opinion, to keep the interests of the youth, I believe us as the elders or us as the older ones, we should be able to invest in their vision that will take the Coptic faith to another level. I'm not just talking about church, I'm talking about the faith or the nation as a whole. And I think
Mhm.
that some are just limited to this my church or I go to the church over here. No, how do we get all of these young people to um um like
Congregate,
what's your interest?
affiliate.
What's your
Mhm.
interest outside of church that we need as a nation of black people? Because if we
Mm.
study the Latinos, if we study the Hispanics, all of them are going to school and they're building their communities. If we study the Asians, if we study, they're all doing something to build their community. Asians, white folk, children, uh, illegal immigrants, none of them are sitting in church all day asking God to do something for them. They're all going to school, they're all working, they're all educating themselves so that they can change their reality. And until we get our young people, I believe, to have an interest in their future, ain't nothing gonna change for Coptic
Mhm.
people.
All right.
We have this thing where we tell them, oh, you got a name coming. I saw a name over you, or you gonna get a elevation, and that we got to stop playing with our young people like that. Our young people are more than you gonna get a name, you gonna get a elevation. I'm gonna make you a royal prince next week, or I'm gonna make you an empress. We got to stop playing with them like that. We need to tell them that our life, our future is on the line, and no matter what title or degree you carry in church, that don't mean nothing when you fill out that application. That don't mean nothing when you go to the bank and they ask you, say, what's your credit score? Oh no, we can't give you that loan. So we have to really start educating them for the real world, and not limiting them to this, this religious, stuff that we're doing.
Dogma.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dogma. That's it. Thank you.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree because that was a thing too, like where there's a lot of people who be like, okay, I got this saying that like I don't care about you trying to be church famous. That don't matter to
yeah,
me. I don't care about you wanting to be church famous and you want to run up behind maybe the leader or the first lady or whoever, and you want to throw your weight around because you supposedly have a job inside of the church. It's not about being seen. The greatest thing you could be is a servant.
that's
And
it.
if you
Yeah,
are a king, you are the biggest servant. I think people forget that. Like they be thinking,
yes,
oh, they want to be this powerful title as you was talking about before, all of these
yeah,
titles and all of these names and all this other stuff. But the greatest thing you can be is a servant.
yes,
Right. But Jesus was a
And
servant also.
yeah,
exactly. So like all this what you doing inside of the church, okay, cool. But your ministry is supposed to go beyond the four walls of that church.
yes,
Like
yes,
how you said, helping the community.
yes.
There was a comment here by the Prince Elijah. He said nation meeting where all the entrepreneurs come together and create some sort of nonprofit organization. What do you mean by that, Prince? Um, let's say it says Joy is saying having more classes rather than just Bible class, getting the spiritual to match the natural. I
I
was thinking
that
about
that
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 too. I
that's
said,
my
can we?
ministry right there. She hit it on the head. And
Yeah.
when I was at home a couple of Sundays ago. That's what I was saying, balance. And many of our people don't live a balanced life. They're so spiritual that they're no earthly good. So we have to be able to balance the two. And that's where we're failing, and that's why we're so behind, because we have all of this God, we have all of this Jesus, but in other areas we're failing.
But you gotta tap into your people, princess, because I know uh Priest Ezekiel used to teach classes. They used to teach classes back in the day on different holidays and backgrounds where you go to about just how the background and the origins of different holidays, aside from church and stuff, but why they
Mhm,
celebrate it, why it came about,
mhm.
but I say that to say reach out to your people to see what's what. You got to talk to your people to know who know what. I'm sure Ezekiel would go back to teaching if you ask.
Well, I was thinking about also like how we should update the money kingdom. I was thinking about myself
Why
doing
did you
something.
bring that up? Why did you bring that up?
Oh yeah,
What?
I did an update
No, no,
today.
I asked that
Look,
question because I have a young lady in the church, right? And she works for a millionaire. And she asked this question. She said, Prophet, she said, how would it look? I'm trying to tell this millionaire how the money kingdom works.
you
And it makes
understand?
sense. How are you going to tell somebody who's already financially stable, who understands business, who under hell they need to come into church and teach you how the money
Yeah.
kingdom work.
Exactly.
But because we have this big head or this ego about ourselves, we wouldn't, some of us wouldn't even be able to humble ourselves to someone who's a student who has the knowledge of how to grow us financially. We're just, oh, you a student, you need to worry about your occupying of none. You need to worry about your having born. We just
And that's where the balance could be though. Like, yeah, I'm learning this, but I could
exactly.
teach this on the side outside of that. That's the
So
balance, you
so
know.
so how did I start when I came in here? I said iron sharpen iron. I didn't say I'm
Absolutely.
Prophet David, I'm a leader. Y'all can't tell me nothing. But that's the mindset of a lot of
Absolutely.
people when they get in certain positions. And that's why if we were to be honest and be real with ourselves, if you strip many of us of these titles and different things of that nature, you'll see you're in the same ship and boat that I'm in.
You ever heard the term of a servant leader?
Say that again.
A servant leader.
Servant leader. Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard something of that nature. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, as like how Jesus was. He served the
Yes.
people, but led them to where and how they
Yes.
needed. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's more what people should be.
Yes.
Serve and lead, serve, but you ain't gotta be. He ain't had to be in front to show that he was who he was.
That that's it. That's it.
Mm.
What do you think about now? Because we had a couple incidents. We talk about all types of stuff on the podcast.
Oh
We
no.
had a couple. We had a couple incidents of well, one, um, what was it? Who was the pastor that said shut the doors, Israel, so they can
Oh
shoot?
Was that
wow.
Donnie
Me and
Clegg?
Micaiah was just
Oh,
talking
that was
about
it.
this.
Was that Donnie? Who was that? I want to say
Marvin Sapp, right?
Hezekiah. Oh, Okay, Mars
Or
Yeah, I
was it
think
Marvin
Hezekiah.
that's his
Sapp?
Yeah.
name. Yeah, whoever. Yeah, I think
And
that's my. Yeah.
then now we had one of the streamers, the people who be on the internet, Drewski, making like a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
clip of
Man,
the mega.
was you just in me and Micaiah conversation?
What do you say to like the backlash, and they say like these are the reasons of why people don't want to go to church? You think it's an excuse of why they don't want to be a part of a congregation, or do they have like an actual, that's really a reason of why they shouldn't be in church at all and like be more outside as they've been doing? What do you
No,
say about
no.
those incidents?
God is exposing the church.
Okay.
We can be in denial all we want to. God is exposing the church. And if we be honest, all right, and I thank God for the people who He surrounded me with, the people who He have allowed to be a part of the ministry that have educated me. And I know that I don't talk to this brother all the time, but Minister Jare, he's the brother is very intelligent, and I liked how God used him to help me understand some things as it relates to our way of life. And although some of the things that he shared in his book, I kind of like, whoa, like you really exposing us, you know what I'm saying? And not all in a good light. It still helped me to understand that these are the areas where we need to be made better. So with Drewski, I'm still that young old prophet. I don't care what they say. Still got that young, heart in me. I definitely agree with what he did because, and I believe that God used him. Although we looked at it as humor, God can, through humor, still expose the truth of a thing. So I think that was something that God did, and even with the pastor who closed the doors. We're just showing that all we care about is money.
No money.
That's
Mm.
all we care
Okay.
about.
We
But if
close the
we
doors.
if we were really genuine about the young people. And I know that, for example, this podcast and other people who have podcasts, through your books you write, Solomon, and different other things, if we truly believed in you and supported you and pushed you, couldn't these things that through your books, you're getting information out. And then not only that, the revenue that's being made off these books, would it be a need for us to sell any church dinners?
No, we're not.
Would it be need for us to put on fake blessings?
No.
Ooh,
Would
we
it be
not fake
need you
blessings.
would it, you know, so
My
I'm
Lord.
just saying, if we're gonna elevate and if we're gonna grow like the princess as, we have to invest in the people so that we'll be able to do something different and the church will be able to grow. And then not only that, what I learned is you may be a good leader, but it don't mean you good with finances.
Oh yeah. That is the truth.
So the truth of the matter is, it's okay if you're not good with finances as a leader. Put the money in the hands of somebody else who you know is good with finances and will get the job done. What does it take from you? I tell you what it takes from you. It takes from you paying your bills.
Mm. Mm.
They don't look at it like that though, King. They probably think that
Hey,
that person
hey,
don't be too much
hey,
have too much power or
hey,
something over
That's
them or
too
hey,
something.
simple
You know?
for.
hey.
That's
The
too simple for.
delusion.
How
The
long
delusion.
have we been telling people, oh, this the building fund, this the building fund, this
Long
the
time.
building fund. We gonna get a new church. And Minister Jarre in his book exposed that the
The
Coptic
church never
church
came.
is nothing but storefront churches. And
Hmm.
we're renting from somebody else.
Hmm.
It's only a few they got their
Yet
loan.
giving the people this belief that we gonna get this beautiful edifice and it. No, let's stop lying to the people.
Hmm.
We need to change the name of the building fund. Or if we do, but like we this the building fund for the kids who need whatever school supplies. We building
Yeah,
for that, something like that. So, like you said, it ain't lying to the people.
yeah,
Okay, so the prince was clarifying. He was saying, let's have a meeting to teach LLC business, S corp, life insurance, learning how to manage credit, learning how
yes.
to flip a tripleplex or duplex, or learning grants, etc.
I agree. I agree. I
That's
agree.
how you help the people.
Yeah,
That's how
really
you
good
help the
too.
people. That's how you help the people. Because now you're positioning people. And one thing I learned and I found out, if you look at us in our way of life, we quick. I see what we post. Oh, go out and vote, go out and vote, go out and vote. But if we really be honest, if we were really on one accord as a nation, forget the separate churches, just as a nation, Coptic, we can go into the mayor office. We can go talk to the governor. We can talk to the aldermen and we can have some changes made in our community. But you think they care about what you're talking about when it's he got 5 people in this church. Do you he got 10 people in his church? See, they don't see the big picture. And even if you somebody who got 100 people in your church, they're still gonna look at what are the minds of the people that's following you or that's a part of this community.
That part.
And
And what are they doing for
if
the
they
community?
see you outside of your church, because if we think that the white man or these people are ignorant, they're not. They watch everything we do. So
Hmm.
if they drive past your church or if they got the camera on your church and they see you in there hollering, screaming, knocking over chairs, hollering black Jesus and the Holy Ghost, and we got all this power, then lunchtime come or you leave service and they see you outside smoking weed or they see you outside with a bottle turned up. They look at us and say we a joke.
Mm.
Agreed. Do you believe the reason why we haven't came together like we're actually supposed to is because people are so busy or thinking about who's going to be the face or the leader of the Coptic faith in 2025, 2026? Is it somebody like they don't want to come together because they want to be the one to go
Yes,
to the governor
yes,
or the
There's
mayor
nothing
and
wrong with
say,
yes,
that.
yes.
why do you think that is?
That's it. But see what I love about what Farrakhan is doing, and I put it. I'm gonna throw this out here. Myself, along with three other churches, are talking. We're talking. It's just a conversation right now, and we're possibly looking to make a reality what you're talking about. Because at some point, it's not about Prophet David saying he a leader. It ain't about this person saying they a leader. Our people are dying. We're losing. And all we can talk about is, I want to be the face of this. I want to be the face. Why can't we all win together?
Right. Why not have either none of
That
that?
why can't we all win together? And that's
Absolutely.
just where I'm at.
That makes sense though.
Yeah.
I was talking about that. Everybody, you go over to certain churches and or people come to our church and they, I'm in this degree, I'm supposed to march it. I don't give a damn where you march at.
I just
You know what
want
I'm
to be in the
saying?
line.
I just want to be in the line. If you need to be important and it does something for your ego, go right ahead.
Mm.
Go right ahead. You know?
But I think that goes back to what we talked about when we first started. Prophet is like um, the people that the minds need to be
Yes.
elevated, because they are still stuck on the as the prince is saying in the chat, it's the ego. The ego is too big, and I
Yes.
believe when you kill the ego,
Hmm.
and I think this is where you go into real spiritual elevation. When you
Yes.
kill the ego and you understand what your assignment is and your purpose is, then that is when you're able to actually manifest the things that you want to manifest and actually complete the jobs that require actually your specific skill set to complete. Um,
Yes.
I think most people, if we did just like you say, just work together, talk, and be like, let's see how we can do this. We did try that with Adam, and it did not, you know, go to
Stick as long as it should.
it did, yeah, not as long as it should have. Do you think that this might be a time, and it goes to my final question,
Mhm.
which is this the perfect time for us to actually do what Prophet Cicero intended us to do, which is build a nation within a nation?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I agree. But also, I add to the Adam. I truly believe Adam, and I know what word I'm using. I believe Adam is a success.
Okay.
I know that Adam is still a light in the Coptic faith, but more people need to come into the knowledge of Adam. But yeah, Adam is an awesome um, twist or what have you to kind of bring us together. Yes, but then
Okay.
it also goes back to what you're saying. Um, don't think you're the only one that knows something, and this
Yeah.
have to be bigger than. Well, Prophet Peter said this 40 years ago. Prophet Cicero said this 100 years ago. Jesus said this 2,000 years ago. But what is God saying to us today?
Right.
What is God saying to us today?
The
We
message
know
is
what God told them because we're repeating it. But when do we say something new that we're not repeating that we heard from somebody else?
mm,
I said that in my book, 369 questions to ask the Black Coptic Nation. I said, to me, it's really disgusting for you to continue to live off somebody else's name and you didn't build anything for yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, you can tell me what, Prophet Cicero did because he's the founder. And we're going to talk
Hmm.
about Prophet. bro.
Yeah.
You can tell me about what King Peter did because he did certain things and elevated the nation to another level. And
Mhm.
we're going to talk about him, and I appreciate that. We could
Yeah.
talk about the Bishop Titus and how he did things with Faith Temple, and I'm
Yeah.
going to, of course, give my honor and reverence to him because we appreciate that. But
Yeah.
my thing is, what am I going to do
That's it. That's
to
it.
add to the legacy of the
Yes.
Catholic faith as a whole, because now I am of age and I need to do what I need to do. What is the story that I want to tell for the people? Because now the other people have done their job, they're not here anymore. Now I'm physically here and I need to add myself.
Yeah, and I know I dealt with that even in my own personal ministry. Being of the age of 50, I've had a lot of young people, oh, prophet, it's time for you to sit down and move out the way. It's time for us young people. And then when you move out the way and you give them a chance, you get a whole bunch of excuses. You get a whole bunch of, I would have, I could have, my boyfriend, my girlfriend. And that's what you try to get
Hmm.
young people to understand, that it's a cost that comes with being a disciple,
Oh
and that
yeah.
It
and
is.
because they want to be a disciple for Christ, but they don't want to pay the price. And as I stated earlier, sometimes the price gonna be, you're gonna lose your family, you're gonna lose your boyfriend, you're gonna lose your girlfriend, your marriage is going to, be all over. You're going to have these issues just because you're following Christ and because you took a stand or you're trying to make a change. But when people start feeling the pressure of losing certain things, no, I changed my mind. No, no, I don't think I want to do that. And now we're right back at square one, where you have the elders or the older ones trying to pick up the baton again and carry, the nation or carry the church, when
Right.
y'all young people told me you was ready. And I was willing to give it to you, but it's always something.
And that be the thing.
There's no
So
consistency.
yeah, the consistency, and some people they don't watch long enough or observe long enough to know.
Yeah.
Cause like I was telling, I said it before in a couple of my conversations, whether it was with Solomon or even with my parents or just some of my spiritual brothers and them. I was like, I know a lot of the background. Being a preacher's kid, you see what happened at church, after church. You
Yeah.
hear it in the room, on the car, in the
Yeah.
car, and it's like some of the stuff. I'm like, I don't want. I commend those who do, but I'll help the church roll on. But I wouldn't want to start my own. I'll help it roll on. Whoever got it going, I'll help you roll it on. But I wouldn't want to be in that. That's a hot seat. A
Yeah.
hot seat where I'm like, when the time comes, sure, but I'm gonna help roll it on. I wouldn't.
But that
Hey,
goes back to what you were saying about knowing your calling, knowing your
right,
place, and
right.
being on the front line, as Bishop Titus used to teach us. Everybody ain't a frontline soldier. It's
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah, that's the
but
part. It's
find your
okay.
place
Right.
and
They
work.
don't know their place.
Empress Magla, she brought a message a long time ago. Always, she said, work your land. So all she was basically saying is find out what your purpose is and you work that.
That part.
But when you're trying to be the leader, you're trying to be the secretary, you're trying to be you all over the place.
Hmm.
Yep.
Amen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is probably gonna be one of the last comments, but the Princess Joy also said, "True elevation or ascension in the mind also begins with healing the body, especially the gut. When you heal the body, the sacred points slash senses of the body will no longer be dulled. Coptic revolution,
It's
which
true.
I agree.
Yeah,
Healthy
I agree with you. I
is
agree
wealth.
with you.
That's
Yeah.
another thing too. Health is wealth because we forget that part too of doing the work of
Mhm.
like healing our bodies and not always having to go to the doctor.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
what do you say? Okay, Prince said, "What makes King Peter days more significant in today's time Is no one willing to work in the shadow? Nah, they lazy. We just said they
Man,
lazy.
man, man, you you got some people who wasn't even here when Prophet Peter was here. Young people that can tell you more about Prophet Peter than you can, and you saw the man every Sunday. I mean,
Yeah.
saw the work he did, and they watch a couple of videos, and hey, they know more than you. So it's like I'm too old. I don't even. I'm not too old. I don't have the energy or the time to argue with nobody about things of that nature. Hey, you can have it. I'm about the work that needs to be done today. Prophet Peter did what he was called to do. Prophet
Yep.
Cicero did what he was called to do.
Yep.
When are you going to do what you were called to do? And we
Yep.
need to stop lying and waking up every day saying, God called me to be a leader in the church. That's
Mm,
not true.
mm.
And to your
How
to
can
that
we be a
point,
leader in the church when we can't even be effective leaders in our own homes?
that part.
Mm.
So,
Say that.
we got to stop playing this game. I get upset at you, you make me mad. Now I'm going to do my own thing. And
Yeah,
that's
that
something that
part.
Minister Jarre mentioned in the book, how there's no structure to what we do. You can just wake up tomorrow and be what you want to be in this way of life. Nobody
Ooh.
controls nothing.
And
There's
it,
there's nobody who can tell you don't do that, this and that. But that's why I say there's no respect for our nation by other people, because you're not going to go to the Nation of Islam. You're not going to go to the Baptist Church. You're not going to go to the Church of God in Christ, Jehovah Witness Church. You're not going to wake up tomorrow, go to their church, and tell them I'm this. You can
right.
only do that in the Coptic Church
That's
because there's
crazy.
no structure. Some people say, why you exposing this? The truth. This shows you that we got to get our stuff together, and that's why we can't really grow like we have the capabilities of growing. Because I go on TikTok, Facebook, I see a lot of other people teaching Coptic, what we would consider Coptic teachings, but they're never coming to Coptic church.
Mm.
And structure is not because the leader pointed his finger and you moved. No, no, we ain't talking. We're not talking about that. We ain't talking about because everybody wore the same color and had on no same crown and no. That's baby talk.
Yeah.
Right.
You come in the nation. They say this is the uniform we wear, and you wearing it, or you're not going to be a part. You got some. Excuse me, they'll come and I had a dream and I had 4 stars on this side and 8 on this side. And you tell them that's not what we wear over here. You know what? I'm going somewhere else. Well, you said God told you to come here. No, I'm going somewhere else now.
Mm.
Just
And
because
then
they.
I go and whoever let me do what I want to do, that's where that's where I'm
That's the
going.
crazy part. And with the ego,
So they still stuck and subjected to the building. Their power is only in the building because they know once they step outside of that building, they have nothing else going on for themselves.
dang,
Nope. Not one thing.
dang, that's
Ooh.
crazy. That's
Okay.
crazy.
Okay, King. I know you said you got to get out of
Speaking
here.
truth.
I ain't trying to hold you long because we could talk all day about this. Um, but before you get out of here, if you want to give us a final word or just a thought, every week we have a thoughts from the Pharaoh, which we just give us either we can do a Bible scripture, we sometimes do a rant, we sometimes give an encouraging word, whichever it is, you feeling right now. If you want to give us just a final word for today before you leave.
um, Truly, I would just want to thank y'all for just this opportunity. I mean, honestly, I thank y'all. Um, I just want those who hear me to know that there's no bitterness in me. I'm not hurt. I'm not um, jealous or envious of anyone. Um, I just truly want to I desire to see our people rise. And if that means we have to tackle some real issues and we have to address some real things to get to that place, let's stop dancing around it and let's take it head on. And when we take it head on, I know that there's a lot of more things that's going to be unveiled because Prophet Cicero talked about that unveiling. So when these things are unveiled, you'll come to find out some of the things that we do in our way of life, some of the positions and vocations that people are walking in this way of life. You'll come to find out that they're not even walking where they're supposed to be walking. They're not even doing what they're supposed to be doing. But I
Mm.
also got to look at self because I'm not exempt. Let me put that disclaimer. I'm not exempt either. I don't want no one to think I'm judging or anything. I'm not exempt either. I have to make sure that I'm doing what I was called to do and I'm doing it to the fullest and the best of my ability. Because if I don't, as I stated earlier, ain't no, you can escape a lot of things, but you're not going to escape what God got for you for not doing and being where you supposed to be, in life. So that's it.
I appreciate that. Oh my goodness, that was
Thank you, thank you.
fire. You gonna definitely people gonna definitely see this episode. And King, they gonna ooh, you done ruffle some feathers. I know you done spark something on
No,
somebody.
no, I'm not. I'm not about rough and feathers. I'm really not about that. But
Yeah,
Speaking truth.
I
That's good.
yeah.
promise truth. People say the truth will set you free. The truth will
Mm.
set you free. But when it's time to eat that truth,
It's too late.
man, they don't
You
want
say
it.
they gonna feel it, they gonna taste it, they
They
gonna
go,
look. It's gonna hurt the feelings.
it's
They
gonna
gonna
hurt.
feel it.
It's gonna hurt, but it's okay. It's gonna help all of us. It's gonna help all of
Uh,
us.
well, King, if
So I'm definitely gonna have to do a part two or something.
yeah, you can definitely.
Definitely.
I was just about to tell you. You know, you can come
Yeah.
back anytime.
And
I
I
love when
apologize. It's just my work schedule. I
yeah,
currently work for the Illinois Department of Transportation, and when this weather is bad up here, they like,
Real
you got to
talk.
hit them streets.
yeah.
So I thank God for
Understood.
blessing me with such a job career, and all the other things that I got going on, and you know just I got some big things,
That's
working.
what's up. We
Big
need people
things
like you
working.
Understood.
doing
Yes.
big
Understood. Like
things.
I say, I was going to
Yes.
say that already. You can come back anytime. I love when the leaders come up and talk to us. Y'all always have such an
No, no, just
insightful.
call me your brother. Just call me your brother.
Big bro, big bro.
Man,
Absolutely,
I'm
big bro.
so like, man, I want to just be, I just want to be brothers. Yeah, call me big brother, little brother. Just want to be brother. I'm
Absolutely,
not trying to
absolutely.
exhort, use any authority over you. I'm a man just like you. And one thing, and I know I said we got to go. What
Mm-hmm.
Jesus said, when I was over there, he said, and he gave unto his 12 power
Mm-hmm.
to do the same thing he did. He even
Mm-hmm.
told Peter, he said, Peter, yeah, you comfortable in that boat, but come on out here.
Mm-hmm.
Come on out where? Come on out here on the water with me. You mean to
Mm-hmm.
tell me I can do that? Yeah, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So many times, we look at others and we say, I don't know if I can do that. You can do it. And I'm not just talking about no leadership in no church. If you want to get your master's degree, you can get it. If you want to get your barber
License.
license, you can
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Do it.
You want to open up a restaurant, you can do it. Get out of that boat of being comfortable and secure and get out here, you know, you're gonna
And
make it.
do it.
You'll make it. Your faith
Yeah.
will get you through. Faith and work.
Mm,
Faith and work. Yeah.
faith and work. Yes,
Look at how
Um,
many people missed their beat because they thought God had called them to minister to people in in this capacity of where they're over a church, and God may have wanted them to minister in the sense of opening up a place where they can counsel people, and you're not a
Mm.
millionaire because you supposed to be counseling people, and you over here wrestling and fighting with people, you know,
Right. When you could have been better off
when
in
you
this
could have
other
been better
position.
off doing something else to still help and minister to people. But goes back to that ego and trying to prove points to people.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I ain't got no point to prove nobody. Mm-mm.
That's some stuff right there. I think I dropped a couple bombs when you was talking because that was like, woo! It was
Yeah.
good. It was like a big explosion. One more time. Let's put it one more time. But I appreciate you
Yes, sir.
taking
Yes,
time out of
sir.
your busy schedule. Like I say, come back anytime because we that was some good wisdom, some good jewels that you dropped for the people.
Yeah.
If people want to see you in person, where could they find you?
In the streets.
In the streets. There we go. Yeah, outside.
Yeah,
Where's,
I'd be outside. I'd be outside. I'd be all over.
where's your church
Um,
located, King?
but the church is located 700 West 119th Street, Chicago, Illinois 60628. Christ
All right.
Universal Temple of Truth. The name of the church was given to us by my aunt, who was also my teacher, um, the Candace Queen Shifra. Bless her spirit,
Mm.
bless her.
Amen.
Yes, she was the
Amen.
one who gave me the name of the church. Yeah, to name the church. That should I say? Yes, yes,
That's a good
Amen.
name.
yeah,
All right, now. Well, I thank you for joining us on the
yes.
podcast,
Thank
and
y'all.
we will
Thank
talk
y'all.
to you soon.
Okay, tell your other host, Kyrie, if he don't step his game up, I'm gonna take his place.
All right.
Yeah.
Isn't he a part of the podcast?
He been on a
Yeah.
sabbatical lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell him that's how up there at the Breakfast Club how things got switched around. You know what I'm saying? You better not be on that sabbatical too long. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for a job. I don't mind working.
Oh man.
No, I love my cousin. I love my cousin. All right.
All
But thank y'all
right.
so much. Y'all have a blessed night. Be safe wherever y'all are. And let's
Most
continue to
definitely.
get this information out to our people so that we can become that mighty nation that God created us to be.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace.
All right.
Man, that was fire.
To
That was
get
fire. I've been
this
waiting.
info.
Yeah, I've been waiting to get him in. We've been trying to get him in since when? How
What,
long did it?
August?
Nah, not it was not
Was
no
it
August. It was like
October? Something like that. Couple of months.
something like that. Something like that.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
like
that's what's up.
that.
Long time.
But kings are busy now. He got more than just
Right.
himself. He got to take care of a lot of different people. So
Absolutely.
big
That is
family.
true.
Oh man. Well, family. That's it for us, man. Y'all know how it go when we got a special guest. We let it rock with them. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? We
sir.
got a lot of other stuff we could talk about, but we as always next week. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, family, for joining us for episode 71 of the Pharaohs Podcast. I'm your host, Solomon, and you can find me on Facebook at Solomon Walker. You can find me on Instagram at CJ Walker 103. And if you want to get your book published, any business inquiries, you want to do some things together, guess what? Email me at cwalker1582 at gmail.com. And you can also find me, of course, at the Pharaohs Podcast at gmail.com. Israel, where can people find you?
Man, y'all can find me at jonathanjohnson621.com. You can find me at the Pharaohs Podcast, and you can find me on my email, johnatl61 at gmail.com. I'll be around. Yeah.
And family, if you can't join us on Mondays, guess what? This episode that y'all just saw right now, It's gonna be on Spotify tomorrow. Okay, every Tuesday, the Pharaohs Podcast is on Spotify. All right, family. Go out and get uh your our books, 621 money tips from Israel, the Gifted Princess from me. All of our books are online. Even this book that's behind me right now. There are only 9 numbers, the book of numerology. If you want to get into the numbers and what they mean and why certain days you feel maybe a little bit lucky and some certain days you might feel a little down. All that is explained in the book. All right, family. Y'all take care. Peace.